Hey guys, welcome back to the Unsavvy Budgeter. For those of you that are new to this channel, my name's Cindy and I take you along with me on my debt-free journey to pay off over $71,000 in credit card and student loan debt. So in this video, we're going over our April budget for the month. We have some minor changes to our budget and we realized we made some mistakes, so we went ahead and fixed that in our budget, so stay tuned for that. So for the month of April, we have some slightly good news, which is that it's a 5-pay period for me. So that means I get an extra paycheck this month that I can put towards the debt. So that's why you'll see that for my gross income for the month, it's a little over $10,200. My husband's gross income for the month is the same as the previous months, and our total gross income before deductions together is a little over $18,700. When it comes to my deductions for this month, the things highlighted in yellow are things that have changed that we wanted to point out. So taxes are a little bit higher for this month due to that extra paycheck that I'm getting. And my additional withholdings for federal and state taxes are already in effect. So I'm already having money taken out of each paycheck. So for the month of April, I have $650 that will be taken out for additional federal withholding. And then I have $100 for the month for additional state withholding. My 401k retirement plan will start taking effect, and we're looking at $250 taken out for the month. Roth IRA, no changes there, not contributing to that for now. And HSA is slightly higher due to the extra paycheck that I'm getting this month. So that's pretty much it for my deductions. We're looking at a total of $3,538.20 for deductions for me for the month. When it comes to my husband, he has his taxes at a little over $1,800. His additional federal withholding is looking to be $550 since he made slight adjustments to his tax paperwork so that he could get slightly more taken out. And then his additional state withholding is $250 for the month. Everything else here for deductions is staying the same. It's the same numbers that you guys have seen in the previous months. So he's slightly ahead in total deductions at $3,637.28 for the month of April. For our net income, this is after our deductions. It looks like my net income will be $6,750.25 for this month. My husband at $4,842.22. And I also wanted to shout out Maria for that $10 contribution to buy me a coffee. We really appreciate that donation to us, and we will use it to buy our coffee beans to replenish our coffee supply. So thank you so much for that. So we don't expect anything here for the month, but we just added it as a line item in case there are any more contributions there. And other changes is we're expecting a $586 reimbursement for this month that we could put towards our bills and towards debt. That's coming from HSA money for reimbursement for my therapy sessions. And then I have about $136 coming back for my monthly stipends that I get for work for like categories like office supplies, and wellness, etc. And exciting thing is we're expecting a side hustle income of $430 for the month. This is only accounting for my husband's sales. He made some really great sales on eBay, so we're expecting that money is going to be coming in later next month after eBay takes its fees. And then I've also made some sales, but we're not quite sure what we're going to be expecting either, but I'll go over what my sales are in another video. So when it comes to net income for both of us for the month, we're looking at $12,608.47. No changes to savings. No changes to our household category expenses. Everything's staying the same. So our total household expenses is looking to be at $2,034.84. We have transportation staying the same. We've budgeted for $100 for the month just for gas. And then when it comes to food has been such a hard category for us. We've been like flip-flopping back and forth, and I feel like it's that one category that we're changing all the time because we're trying to figure out like what is a reasonable budget for us. For the month of March, we budgeted for $100, and that was a little bit hard for us to do for groceries. And then we had $100 for dining out, and that was a struggle for us big time. So we figured we might just adjust it slightly and then see how we do with this new budget. So we have $200 for groceries and $150 for dining out, giving us a total food budget of $350. For utilities, the only thing that has changed is we have adjusted electricity to $175. We've been monitoring our electricity bill, and we felt like $175 is more reasonable of a budget for us. We've been under budget for electricity, and we're also trying to make sure that we're more energy efficient. So we've been trying to not turn on the AC as much and really just open up our windows for fresh air, and making sure to turn off our lights and not leave the lights on. So hopefully we can stick to that budget for the rest of the year. We know that it might be a struggle come the hot summer months, but hopefully we can manage. We'll see. Gas, internet, cellular, that's staying the same for our budget. So utilities, we're looking at $470.35, which is slightly lower than what we've budgeted before. Then it comes to our subscriptions, expenses, and all the categories we have there. So Netflix is no longer a cost for us, which is really exciting. That saved us $14. Big thanks to my sister for letting us use her Netflix account. She's been super nice about sharing that with us, but I feel like it evens out because I share my Prime account with her. I don't know if you guys know that, but if you do have a Prime account, you can actually add another user to your Prime account, and that could be a great way to like split that Prime cost. So my husband and I share one login for our Amazon Prime, but I've added my second user as my sister, so she uses it, and I don't see any of her purchases or anything like that. It's private, so it's been nice for us to kind of share that. So yeah, that's the only changes is Netflix for this month. So our budget for subscriptions is $19.98 for the month, which I think is pretty good. But let me know if you guys think it could be better. We still have our life events category, which we're just leaving on there, but we're not quite ready to budget for it yet. So hopefully sometime in the future we can. Personal spend is staying the same at $335 for the month. My personal spend is staying at $200. I've just decided to leave it like that just because it's turning into a lot of miscellaneous expenses or bills that I forgot to account for. So I just end up using my personal spend money for a lot of those expenses. When it comes to healthcare, no changes there. I'm only going to have 2 therapy sessions this month, so we're just looking at $300. No budget for clothing. We still have our $160 for pet care. That's staying the same. I was curious about this category since The $160 is what I'm budgeting for pet insurance, but I wanted to ask you guys if you guys have any recommendations for pet insurance companies that you're using that you would highly recommend, because I've been thinking that maybe what I'm paying is slightly high for our pets, and I think it's time to kind of revisit this expense and kind of shop around again to see if we could save in this category. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. Gifts, we don't have anything budgeted for this month, although we probably should have, but I think we're okay because I did some gift shopping ahead of time with my personal spend money, so that was able to save us some money for this month. And nothing for Uncle Sam this month. We're pushing out our payment for federal taxes to the following month since the filing date got extended to May 17th. So we decided that we're just going to focus on finish paying off the credit card debt, and then we're going to use the second half of April into the first half of May to save up and pay for the rest of federal taxes that we owe. When it comes to other, no changes there. We have exercise equipment payment of $66.42 for the month, and savings is staying the same. It's still $205 that my husband sets aside for various savings accounts. So total left over is $8,566.88 after all deductions and expenses. This number is not fully accurate. It doesn't account for expenses that we typically have at the beginning of the month, like mortgage. So a lot of times that is paid for with our last paycheck of the month. And since we don't get paid in the following month until like later, we have to make sure that we set aside funds in our last paycheck of the month to pay for those early expenses that we always expect in the beginning of each month. So that's where we realized we were wrong and we didn't account for that accurately in the numbers that you see in our budget. So you'll see that that's corrected in the following tab. So here is our nice little pie chart. And this pie chart shows us everything that we've budgeted for in our various categories that you saw in our first tab with the combined budget. And when it comes to debt payoff, this is what I was talking about when I said that that $8,000 that we saw earlier is not accurate because it doesn't account for expenses we have at the beginning of every month. So with that accounted for, we're really only looking at a little over $5,000 left over to put towards our debt payoff. So we went ahead and adjusted it here for April, but in the previous months, it was slightly off or higher because we didn't account for those expenses and bills that we had. Then for household, we have our budgeted amount at $2,034.84. No changes there. We have the line item for 401k and HSA. It stays the same, around $1,300, and we just went ahead and filled in actual spending because that's always going to be equal to what we budgeted for because it's automatically deducted from our paychecks. Healthcare, we have $300. Utilities, $470.35. Subscriptions at $19.98. Transportation, $100. Personal spend, $335. Savings, $205. Food at $350. Pet care at $160. Other for the exercise equipment, $66.42, and $0 for gifts. So our total budgeted amount for the month, we're looking at $10,635.28. No changes to actual spending yet, but you'll see that as we do our budget updates for the month of April. And obviously the difference category is going to change, and you'll see that the numbers are going to decrease after we actually do our spending. So this pie chart, you'll see that we have close to 50% for debt payoff at $5,240.62, slightly lower than the 50-something% that we typically would have, but maybe that will be slightly higher with the actual spending, depending on how much bonus income we bring in for the month of April. Our second biggest category, household at 19%, and our third biggest category at close to 13% with 401k and HSA. Healthcare, close to 3% of the budget. Utilities is close to 4.5%. Transportation, very close to 1%. Personal spend, slightly over 3%. Savings, close to 2%. Food at 3.3%. Pet care at 1.5%. So that's the breakdown of our budget for this month. And we have that nice addition of our little bar graph that shows our budgeted amount and actual spending. You mostly only see blue bars right now because we haven't done any spending yet for the month of April, but this is going to change in our budget updates as you guys see what we've spent on during the weeks. So the only thing that we've accounted for is the 401k and HSA actual spending. We already put that in there because that's an expense that we expect. So that's what our budget looks like for this month. We hope that you guys are liking the new budget template that we're using in Google Sheets. I've heard a lot of great feedback already, so I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying it. Let me know if you guys have any other suggestions or if there's anything that you would like to see when it comes to our budget. We really could use a lot of help with just more ideas and suggestions on how we can cut back on certain expenses. You guys have been really helpful giving great tips there. And if you have tips for reselling, that's a lot of what I'm doing to raise our bonus income for the month. I can't say it's necessarily reselling. It's more like I'm just sourcing a lot of our own stuff in our home and just purging stuff that we no longer need since, we're looking at moving hopefully at the end of the year anyways. So we're hoping that if we purge and sell a lot of the stuff that we have now, it's going to make moving a lot easier come the end of the year. So if you guys have any tips with reselling, I would appreciate any suggestions or feedback in the comments section. That's pretty much it for this video. So if you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell to stay tuned for future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one.